a lot of work has come to this moment, man.
Yeah.
Not a lot of time. Wait, it's a good one. This is the season finale of season three. We're recording on a Wednesday, not a Saturday. This is different. And I guess to kind of just set the mood, I can't get this right. There we go. Set the mood a little bit. I got myself a little song.
What is that?
People say prosecco. I say a good time, but little bubbly for our New Year's episode. Let's get into it.
Got
Uh,
water.
you got and it's little reverse roles for an episode. I also do have a coffee to chase it down, so my liver is killing me. Love it. Welcome back to the Tu-Vie Podcast, your TV movie entertainment needs podcast. Season finale of season three. Oh, Colin, it's been a big year. Been a big year. I think last
Yeah.
episode I said we were 10 episodes more than season three. I was a little wrong. We're actually 8 episodes ahead. We did. I forgot. We did the Guardians episode in 2 parts because that's when you and Cameron first met and first fought.
Yeah.
That was a wild one. That was a great episode. I love that episode so much. I think that was season. Was that season three or was that season two? No, that was season three.
No, it was season two.
Was that season two? Either way, that felt like forever
I
ago.
it might have been, it might have been
No,
season
I think it was season two
my
because
but yeah, I've been here for a year, I forgot.
you've been, yeah. So that's when, that's right. It was when you were back
Yeah.
in Jersey. But no, we're wrapping up with the season, and so there's no better way to end the season than going over the season of the year of movies and TV shows, everything in between. So I sent you a list of giving your top 3 movies of the year, your bottom 3 movies of the year, top 3 shows, artist, and then we'll probably get in the mix of it all there. But you know, since Cameron couldn't be here for the recording, that Prosecco's hitting me right now, by the way. He wanted to still be a part of the episode, so he sent me his stuff. I was going to read his stuff first.
Read it along.
So I'm going to read it like Cameron, if I'm as best as I can. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Um
Uh,
all right.
no. We said it the exact same time. It's right. Okay. I got it back in the character. All right. So my first choice of the 2024 movies, number 3 of my favorite is Love Lies Bleeding, a movie that manages to be a body horror and romance and a crime thriller all in the same time. Uh, movie is sorry, in the same. Sorry, what was that? I can't barely read this. I did not do this right. Hold on, let me make this bigger. Oh, and a crime thriller all in the same movie, and neither part betrays the other. An absolute fantastic ride with great performances from Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, and Ed Harris. A truly nasty thriller, which I have been sorely missing in the decade. Yeah, there you go. Number 2, Furiosa. George Miller's Odyssey, a grand revenge epic told on the biggest scale with the best action of this year. Chris Hemsworth steals every scene, and Anya is a fortress of a character that you cannot help but root for. The world of Mad Max is beautifully realized with the impossibly orange desert to the crystal blue sky. It's brutal, it's beautiful, it's Mad Max at its finest. I'm nailing this Cameron impression, by the way.
You are?
Dude, it's very quiet. It's Bob Ross with negativity. All right, and finally, my number 1 movie of the year is Challengers. This movie came out in April, and I've been patiently waiting for someone to dethrone it, but it has yet to happen. And honestly, I don't think it's going to. Fueled by an electric score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, Challengers is a blast that managed to include 3 of my favorite characters of the last couple years. The dynamic between Art, Patrick, and Tashi is endlessly fascinating as we learn their story through flashbacks interspread between the championship match of the Phil's Tire Town Challenger event, which he does own a sweatshirt of. He bought it, or I think it was like a gift, but he got like a sweatshirt based on the
There's
movie.
merch of challengers.
I think it was like an Etsy one, but yeah. It's like the name of the event. I thought that was kind of fun. It's a story about the fire of competition in its many forms. The script is one of my favorites of the last decade so far and is so smartly and cleverly told. The filmmaking is kinetic and lively, and it is easily my favorite ending of the year. It's a blast in the way I didn't think movies could be anymore. Note, I have not seen The Brutalist, Nosferatu, or Queer, which could all make this list, just haven't seen them yet. which I think is also a very good distinction because the way I made my list were movies based on like things I did see, not just like things I like from like pop culture.
Yeah.
Because when we get to our bottom three, make sense of certain names. So Colin, what's your best three?
Best three are a portion of the movies that I got the chance to see this year.
Yeah.
Um, Starting from the bottom and not the starting from the bottom,
Yeah.
but
There's no
it's
particular
on my
order for this. What you're
yeah.
saying? Yeah.
It's no. There is a particular
Oh, there
order,
is.
but I starting at third is Wicked, and I have other
Wow,
movies that
really? Sorry,
I
I
have a
was.
big attachment to.
Wow.
Um, Wicked was I. It's only on my list because I went from not being enthusiastic about it to understanding why people are obsessed with it
Yeah.
and they love it. Um, it's a very long movie, but I wasn't bored.
Yeah.
And again, with a lot of the other movies, I've seen in the past, I watched it with somebody that I very much love and care about. So me and her, our energy of just like watching it at like within the 20 minutes that I was watching Wicked, I was like, I would love to watch this again.
Did you have your Danny DeVito? Your Danny DeVito moment was, I get it. It's perfect.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it quite a bit. It was I appreciated my often what Emily would like to say is like, I told you so kind of isms
Oh
of
yeah.
like, I that right there, I was okay with kicking myself in the back. I'm like, yeah, this is a very good movie.
Yeah.
And I, it was gonna be it's gonna be a tangent, but it's gonna be
Well,
real
no, I mean
quick.
we said this last episode. It's so great.
Even Cameron and other people online are saying it's also like kind of like with the CGI, it's kind of like an ugly movie. Like, did you get that sense watching it? Because I wasn't really like
I like when it was practical, I could tell it was practical, and when it was CGI, I could tell it was CGI background.
yeah,
But for me, it didn't take a lot out of the movie, you know?
okay,
Like it wasn't my top three of this year because it's just not my scene. Although I like you grabbed the nearest plate and ate my words. It was kind of just like, oh, I'm not a musical guy. I don't really like musicals, and I'm not the biggest Ariana Grande fan. Cynthia Erivo, I heard, has been a stellar act, and I haven't really seen her in anything. I think she made a cameo in the
it was
Pinocchio movie.
if I'm not wrong, hopefully I'm not wrong,
Let me look her
but
up.
she was in the HBO show The Outsider. She had played a really incredible role in that
I don't
show.
think I saw that.
It's based off of the Stephen King novel.
Oh, I did not know that. I know. Okay, let me tell you. I'll take it back. I haven't seen it in quite some time. I saw it once, but Bad Times at the El Royale. She was Darlene.
She was in that. Yeah,
Yeah,
she had an
and
incredible role.
I don't remember anything of that movie other than Chris Hemsworth really weird like waist dance. That's all I remember. So I need to rewatch it now. But and then she also was Harriet in the I think movie Harriet that came out
Okay.
2019. Either way, Cynthia was fantastic. She was my favorite part of the whole movie. But I didn't feel so disinterested when it was CGI. I just kind of like okay, like I liked
Yeah.
more when it's practical.
Yeah.
But no,
Uh,
yeah, sorry.
so sorry about that
No, you're
long.
dude. This
That
is a
was, of
podcast. You're meant to talk.
course. Second is Alien Romulus.
Whoa.
I really love that movie.
Good
It
choice.
is. I. How many years has it been since we actually had a good Alien movie?
Well, let's see.
You might have to backtrack a couple
I was gonna
decades.
say it's like almost 28 years, almost 30 years.
Yeah. It.
By the way, I'm referencing Aliens, 1986. Since
Yeah.
1986, we have not had a good Aliens movie. David Fincher was fine. It's just
David Fincher was fine.
yeah,
You look into the backstory of that entire production, and it's just a big old mess. But
yeah.
like he wanted to make a good movie.
He made an
Um,
action movie. I'll tell you that.
yeah, he wanted something to be good
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Alien Romulus is just outstanding, fun.
Mm.
Towards the third act, it I could understand that people thought it was messy, and at times I was like, but
Mhm.
it didn't break anything with the movie for me. I,
Exactly.
it happened, and also it was also addressing what came before with Prometheus and Covenant. So on some level, if you love the Alien franchise, you can understand and appreciate that. Like, I get it,
Yeah.
third act. My
Yeah, and sorry,
Yeah,
I got to cut you off for 1 second. The third
go
act
for
is exactly how I felt. Like this movie was a 5 star until the third act, but it didn't. It shaved off. I wouldn't say a half a star. I'd say like a fourth of a star.
Yeah,
4.75. Still great. And that hybrid scared the
yeah.
shit out of me.
It's a real person
That
too.
I know, and that's what's
Awesome.
so cool. It's that dude. Everyone's seen him like on TikTok. He's like that basketball player from like Cleveland, but he's like
Uh,
8'2".
yeah, I thought it was like in regardless though.
Well, I think he's from like but I think he lives in like Cleveland.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
still.
blew my mind.
Yeah.
Which
Have you seen
is
behind the
awesome.
scenes like of that
In the
scene?
behind the scenes
He's
of
like
just like him
leaning.
standing right next to like it's incredible.
It's
Uh,
so funny. He's like, "You want me to come in this way?" Like he's just talking about like blocking, and it's so good. And that was actually the second movie Sophie ever saw in Aliens. We saw Alien the night before, and then we watched Romulus the next day.
nice,
Dude, she
nice,
was so into it, loved it. Now we're
good.
watching Prometheus and Aliens soon.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So good.
get ready
Yeah,
for
no,
yes at least.
no, I've seen it. I seen it. She
I
hasn't.
appreciate and like a lot of Prometheus, but I understand that like fans don't love it. It's just it's a movie. It was setting up something, and it kind of paid off a little bit in Covenant, but not too much. And I like a lot of Covenant, but regardless, we're not talking about those
No,
movies.
no,
My
yeah, I hear what you're
number
saying.
one
Yeah.
is obviously, if you want to guess,
Pff, Deadpool Wolverine.
exactly.
Yeah.
I I don't get that soulless kind of attitude that a lot of people are giving that movie. Not a lot, but like a vocal minority. I, I
Cameron.
I'm not even dissing Cameron.
I am.
I get it with him. I get it with him.
I am.
I
Spoiler warning. He did put that on his disliked movies of the year, but
it.
it was number three. There was two other ones.
Oh, what were the other ones?
You'll find out in a second. We'll get to that
Okay.
in a second.
Um, I I got exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to be at least a decent movie, and it became an incredible movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's winning any Oscars. I'm not saying that like it's the best picture of the last decade. When it comes to the character of Deadpool, you really could fall short so fast.
Yeah.
Unless if you have the right talent and the right writers and the right director behind it. And every Deadpool movie, they've always swung and they've never missed. And if this is the last solo Deadpool movie we've ever gotten, good for us, for the fans.
Yeah.
We got to see old faces, Chris Evans as Johnny Storm again, and
Mm.
then just brutally killed.
Yeah.
we, we got Hugh Jackman back again, which nobody thought would happen. But
Mm.
as soon as like he was brought back, people were like, "How much did Disney pay for it?" Blah blah blah. But like Hugh Jackman wanted to come back because
Yeah. Yeah.
he also said once he saw Deadpool 1, he was like,
Yeah. Which is perfect. And I love how because of this movie I have a Wolverine popcorn bucket, which I thought never would have happened in my lifetime. Like a legit comic accurate cowl Wolverine helmet that I was first and only in line to get it. Like
yeah,
so excited to get it, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. It's fun. It's fun.
We got Wolverine in his ultimate prime that we should have gotten 20 years ago. Like
Yeah,
literally, Deadpool said he's like, "Oh, what are these jammies?"
I love it.
Only took 20 years.
That is my favorite joke in the whole movie. It never ceases to make me like die laughing. It's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
And as much as the John Byrne brown and yellow
so good.
is really good, I have a softer spot for the yellow and blue just
Mm,
because it's like that's what we should get from this movie.
yeah,
We the movie is just so much fun, so many jokes. most of them land. The action itself of like the Hell's Bells fight, of the car fight, of the finale fight, of like Hugh Jackman shirtless, and it's just
Hmm.
like you like a prayer. If you were to tell, if somebody from the future to come from our past in middle school were to tell us this movie was going to happen, we thought that they were homeless and they were on
Oh,
something.
okay.
Now that we have it, I mean, dude, we're back with Marvel. We're
Yeah,
back.
I mean, another way I'd put it is I'd punch you in the face and call you crazy, but you know, let's, let's,
I'd ask him like, "Where'd you find my diary?"
yeah, yeah, interesting choice there, Colin. Yeah, no, no, and a lot of the stuff sorry, do you have more to say or?
No, no,
Okay,
that's number
I'm
one.
gonna make mine super quick because my top three are pretty much similar. Challengers was sorry, number three. Number three was Furiosa Mad Max. So good, unreal, like action from George Miller in that movie. And the fact that it just brought you back to the Mad Max world, didn't take anything out of it. It didn't, it added a lot, but at the same time, just was like, just a great chapter in the Mad Max saga. And I absolutely loved it. The practicality is always fantastic. Just such a good time. Anya was so good as the Furiosa. Second one is it is like a movie I talked about a lot was Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is my number 2 because I know like these are sequels or trilogy, spin-offs. Dune Part 2 is fantastic. Dune Part 2 was unreal. The storytelling, the visuals, the music, everything about that movie just was like a constant endorphin rush. Like I loved every single second and I cannot get enough. I hope they give nominations and they revoke that original score shit because that's insane. Number one is Challengers because it is original. It's an original story. It's great storytelling. The way they start in the present and they may go back and then they kind of make their way through flashbacks, like Cameron was saying. It's so good. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Prime. Go now. It's
Yeah,
so good.
all of those movies I have not had the chance to see. I know that
Go
I can
see.
see Furiosa on Max, right?
That is on Max. Challengers is on Prime, and Dune is on Max at this point, I think,
Yeah,
or it's about to be.
I'll try to make time. Not that I never had any interest.
No, just you were busy. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, no, dude, I get it. I had it just Challengers was something actually Sophie wanted to see too. So we waited till it was on stream because we were both like in school when it was coming out. We couldn't really go see it, but it was so good. It's
when
so
Chad
good.
was coming out, like I did love the Tom Holland memes of like just him freaking out. So
Yeah.
he's
We said that a few times with him. I was like, dude, Tom must have been gripping that chair. No way.
thank God he did not relapse.
Oh god. All right, bottom three. Number three. This is Cameron again. All right, my least favorite movie of 2024, Deadpool and Wolverine. If this is a heart, I know. That's what I said. It's the bottom one. It's the bottom one. It's not the. It's the bottom one. It's not the top.
This guy's gonna kill me.
Yeah. If this is a harbinger of things to come in the MCU, then I might be done. Never seen a movie so uninterested in telling a story, and instead just cramming in as much fan service as humanly possible. I'd say more, but I already have said quite a lot on the pod, actually. So at least he's, reserving himself. Number two, Megalopolis. Never have I been more baffled by a movie. A series of wild swings that all seem to miss by a mile. An honorable train wreck. Some good visuals, but nothing to back them up. One of the best so bad it's so good movies in the last decade. Cannot stress how nothing about this works. And number one. Can you guess? Can you guess the number one? Don't think too hard.
Joker.
No, actually, it's Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I would have expected Joker.
forgot the movie.
I know. Much like how nothing in Megalopolis worked, this movie bored me, infuriated me, and wasted my time. A true stinker, and it doesn't even let Tom Hardy do any of the fun shit that made the last two movies even salvageable. A cynical corporate shit stain of a movie, and one I will never watch again.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Bottom
Every
three.
time I get excited about a movie like Venom, like I went from like ugh to like, well, it could be fun, and then it's like, no,
I'm sure in its heart of hearts, it's fun. Like if you just shut up, turn off the brain, don't watch it like a Scorsese movie, and just enjoy it. I'm sure you'll have a little fun.
it kind of ruins it knowing that like also like Spider-Man 4 is also supposed to have Tom Hardy's Venom.
Dude, I don't even know. I don't even know, man. It is what it is. It is.
Unless that they change their minds.
Probably not. Probably not. But all right. Your bottom four or bottom three.
So bottom third is The Crow. I really wanted to like the movie The Crow.
I didn't know you saw that movie. I didn't think anyone else saw that movie, let alone you.
I I really like The Crow. I do.
Oh,
And
the first one?
the first one and also the graphic novel.
Yeah.
The entire concept. I love a good revenge story, but this one is a violent revenge story. It's gothic. It's romantic. Um,
What was that joke she made in the prison? What's the kind of worst tay? What was it?
I think it's something like that. I haven't.
Oh,
I
I know. I remember now. What's the kind of worst tay?
I pro to be honest,
Reality. That's what she said. I was like, you know what? You're right. Reality does suck because we're watching this movie.
yeah,
God.
dude, The Crow is what breaks my heart about The Crow. Why it's on my third is that also it could have been like more of a modern kind of take on The Crow,
Yeah.
but they Jared Leto Jokered Bill Skarsgård. I didn't buy the romance. I really like the gore, but it couldn't save the movie and the kills. And
Huh?
I just it's one of those cases where it's like, is it possible to remake The Crow for the modern times? Because a lot of The Crow in the original it holds up, but some don't. But you still love and appreciate it. Like
It
I
was real. It's like they were really like putting him like on the edge of those like buildings and stuff like it was. I haven't seen it in quite some time.
Yeah, and I still really love it. It's a small moment, but like just him like just pointing to like you, like
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I wanted to love the movie, I didn't, and the more I thought about it, the more I just
Yeah.
hated it. I wouldn't say I hated, I just disappointed. Because Bill Skarsgård was a great pick for
Yeah.
like him to but no. Borderlands is my second one.
You saw that?
I rented it.
Colin.
Just like The
You did
Crow,
not.
I
Why
I
did
dude, I
No way.
I saw the Penguin Zero video that he did on the review of the Borderlands movie, and I'm like, I want to get a piece of that action, and I got really wasted, and I watched that, and it was so bad.
Oh man.
What sucks too is like maybe there's something I could probably appreciate about this movie because I played the video games, and I'm like,
It's like nothing.
when I rented it, I was like, I forgot Kevin Hart was.
Yeah, Kevin Hart, possibly the man who has taken like some serious roles, but is more comedic, taking like the most serious character in the whole game.
Yeah,
Crazy. How was Jack Black at least?
he's Jack Black, like, but he couldn't save that movie.
Oh,
And he also played Jack Black also played ID like Claptrap in the Borderlands video games is the most one of the most annoying characters in the Borderlands games, and they casted Jack Black, and it still didn't help.
I got to say though, he does have some good one-liners. Like when they were playing like the poker, you're playing the poker part, and he's like, "Come on, you couldn't even win. Anyone with that hand couldn't win the game, even Jared." And all he says is "Heyo," and he's like "Heyo," and he's like, "Shut up!" So funny, dude.
It's just a boring ass movie.
How much was it made for? Like 190 million or whatever.
It Yeah, I think it had reshoots
Oh,
too.
sorry, 115 plus an additional 30 million for the marketing. So 130, 145.
I still don't know why I thought Sony made that movie.
They only made 31 million, dude.
Nice, good.
I think they inflated that just because you bought you rented it.
Yeah.
Right.
Imagine if I was the one that had them break even.
You're the one, you paid $31 million to rent this movie. That's the deal.
My final one,
Oh,
and I have come around and watched the movie Joker Folie à Deux.
wow. That's on Max soon. I'll probably get around to it.
Yeah, you okay, buddy?
I was gonna say, what was that?
Oh, Coda likes to go under my table,
Oh,
and he accidentally banged his head. I'm sorry, pal. He heard me say Joker followed you. He's like, I got words to say.
bam! Just slams his head in the desk.
Watching the movie, I can appreciate it being a film, but it also is a film about one of the most recognizable comic book characters of all time. And you watch that movie and it's like, hey, you really loved Joker 1? We're gonna slap you across the face with our like it blew my mind of like, you know, it was like they were like writing the script. Well, you look in the back, the behind the scenes, like they were writing the script as it went on.
Really?
That worked for Joker 1, but
Hmm.
it doesn't work for a sequel.
Sure.
And at least that I know of, you know.
Well, that makes sense because Joker at the time was, I don't want to say groundbreaking, but it was original in a Joker's sense
Yeah,
because we were meant to believe Arthur Fleck is this Joker like character because, the whole Joker thing is very different with every Batman story, but there's still a core to it
yeah,
acid, comedian, stuff like that. And it was cool to do that because it was new. But now that you have the pressure of the first movie, which made like $1 billion or something, it's
yeah.
different.
And the beauty of the first Joker was like even like the core of that movie also was that you were still like Arthur's the unreliable narrator because of that last scene in Arkham where he truly like you felt like he embodied like the Joker. So it's like on some level it felt like he was a different character from like where we last left off with him on top of that cop car. Now that there's a sequel that came out, it's like, oh, that's coming out. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, you're gonna have, there has to be something here because also Joaquin doesn't do any sequels, so it's like the
Yeah, no.
when the first Joker movie came out, it's like, oh, Joaquin's a part of this. He probably saw something incredibly special with this script. Oh, there's a sequel coming out, and Joaquin's back. It's like there must be something special here, and it's like there's something special for like a film snob, but for a comic book character like the Joker, you, every move that they could have possibly made of like, okay, audiences will probably enjoy this, so we'll just throw that out and then do that.
Yeah.
It just blew my mind, and the final nail on the coffin is the last couple of seconds.
I think we should save the spoiler for that because people who are gonna go see it on Max.
I'm saving it all.
Perfect.
Just
Yeah, good, good, good. I will
I
say you nailed it on the head when you said it's great for film snobs because Tarantino loved it. He thought it was a fu to the movie theater companies or like
yeah.
comic book fan, whatever. I was like, of course, what Tarantino says. I love his movies, a lot of his movies, not all, but you know, Tarantino's got unique opinions.
He does. I appreciated his opinion because he also called it like it was,
Yeah,
But still, it's like I, as a fan, I wanted a Joker sequel that did right and it did wrong.
yeah, man. Oof. All right. And my bottom three. So there's a lot of like obvious answers for my bottom three, like Rebel Moon, Madam Web. I never watched Harold and the Purple Crayon, but like I said, I saw that Razzle video, so I practically watched it. Those were bad movies. There's tons of them, but the three of them that I actually had genuine hope for. Number three is Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. I love Ghostbusters. I see it every Halloween for the last 10 years now. I've seen it. The first one nailed it. Second one, it was alright. The Ghostbusters Afterlife, I thought it was good. I thought it was a great actual sequel to Ghostbusters. I thought Frozen Empire is gonna be really cool. Like more Ghostbusters, more of a modern time. I like the idea of this like frost witch literally freezing New York over. Thought it was kind of cool. And it was just a cringe fest the whole time. It just didn't feel Ghostbustery, man. That magic of the first group I think is forever lost. So that's my number three. Number two, another Bill Skarsgård movie, Boy Kills World. That was
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had really high hopes for that one because I think the idea is kind of cool. This kid who's mute trains to avenge his family and goes on this spree that's very John Wick, and the camera work was cool. The idea of the narration with Bill just kind of acting with his emotions was really good, and I think he expresses great. But the entire time, it felt like the gore and the violence was its saving grace, and the twists just were like, okay. Like I kind of felt nothing the whole time, other than, ooh, that was kind of a cool kill. So there was that. And then number one, Maxine. Maxine was the biggest disappointment for me this year.
Mm.
I mean, nailed it out of the park with X. Pearl was cool, kind of seeing the origin of Pearl, and kind of where she went to, and then X. But then Maxine, man, I just felt not surprised. I felt like my time was wasted. Like we had this big build up, this whole thing. We thought it was going to be kind of like a cool, she's on her own story and it's going to be her like surviving again. But in the end, it was just kind of like King of Comedy mix with whatever the X universe is. It was just, I thought it would be better. That's it. Rebel Moon definitely takes the cake. That movie was god awful. I mean,
Yeah.
whew. Then we're almost to the end here. Top three shows. Now, I've seen as much as I've seen movies this year. Saw a lot of other shows, and there were a lot of great shows this year. So, well, I'll probably list out the other ones I saw, but we'll start with Cameron's here real quick. Let me see. Can I open this? Why can I not open this? Hold on. He sent like a long. There we go. All right. So number three shows. Arcane. All right. Arcane. Picking up right where season one left, Arcane returns with a highly emotional and beautifully animated conclusion. If you told me 3 years ago that a show based off League of Legends, a game I don't even play, would be one of my favorite shows, I would not believe you, and yet here we are. So well written, and the animation continues to blow my mind for how well it looks and for how long these episodes are. The characters are so good and really elevate the show beyond, wow, this show really is well animated. I love all of them, and seeing where they end up made me feel. What? Oh, I love seeing where they ended up made me feel deeply. I don't know. That's kind of where just deeply. There's no other word there.
You felt
Probably could. He felt something. He expressed emotion. Probably could have benefited from a couple more episodes. Gosh, doing this voice is killing me. Hold on. Probably could have benefited from a couple more episodes, but it still works and works well. Number two, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Donald Glover impresses yet again. A great deconstruction of a relationship told through the lens of spycraft. Each episode had its own unique story and each parable of how we fall in love and fall out of love with people. Maya Erskine is, I think I've been saying the name wrong, but I'm going Erskine. She's great. I don't know. I just can't get her name. Maya is so good in it. It made me go back and discover everything she's done before this. The show, despite being about two spies going on a globe-trotting adventures and getting into gunfights and other violent hijinks, still manages to be a very honest portrayal of a modern relationship. It establishes a fascinating world and has great supporting performances from Ron Perlman, Parker Posey, and Wagner Moura. Just a blast and the best new show of 2024.
agreed.
Great show. These are so lengthy. Doing that voice and having it do the length of it is a little. Okay, here we go.
Number five.
All right. Number one. My favorite. Slow Horses. Slow Horses was my favorite discovery this year. A story about a department misfit spies in MI5 who always seem to end up in the middle of whatever national crisis befalls the UK. Led by Gary Oldman, this show has the best cast and crew on TV right now. Jack Lowden is unbelievably good in this show, and that I'm convinced once he is in something more popular, he will be one of the world's biggest stars. Wow. Saska Reeves, Rosalind Ellison, Jonathan Pryce are also standouts and fantastic in their roles. But where the show really shines is its writing. The characters are so vividly drawn and detailed, and they play so well together. No show manages to balance being a white-knuckle thriller while also making me laugh this much. Season 4 came out this year, and it makes more personal struggle than the first 3 seasons, and it really worked for me. It's tense, it's funny, it's the best show on TV. He just said that for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I feel like what we do a lot is whatever we like, we just say it's the best of, no matter how many best ofs. I feel like we can have a best of compilation and it's 400 different things, and I love our enthusiasm. Also, the show started in 2022, and it already has 4 seasons and 2 more on the way. This is TV done the right way. Nothing better than finishing up a season and then immediately seeing the trailer for the next season after the credits. That is very true. That show's actually, I've been recommended it like hell, so I've been meaning to get to it. Colin, you want to get to your top three shows?
Well,
I
for
sorry, can I guess? I'm saying this ahead of time. I don't know if the order is going to be correct. I think we're going to have either the same order or just the same shows. So please continue. Sorry.
okay, so number three is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I I didn't. I was surprised. I didn't know like I wasn't that excited to immediately watch it this year, but I watched it about like a month or two ago when you and I were texting about it. I was like, "Have you seen the show before?"
Yeah.
It is funny, smartly written, and also the score itself is I there's something about that score, but I'm like it brings the mood.
It tickles
And
you.
yeah, and the finale just leaves you with your jaw on the floor and you're just anxious to know what happened.
Yeah.
Donald Glover carried that show, but also I forget the actress's name.
Maya Erkson.
An incredible, beautiful job. She was hilarious.
She's so funny.
And I can't really say anything else that Cameron didn't already say.
Yeah.
He had a better written response to that review to that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
That's my number three. Number two, you're gonna be surprised.
Really?
Tires by Shane Gillis on Netflix.
Time out. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised at the same time. Tires.
That show was funny, dude.
Okay.
I've rewatched that entire season multiple times throughout this
Oh,
year. It is so good, and I'm glad that Shane Gillis's career is it's taken off. He deserves it. He's a hilarious comedian, and the show. If you watch the trailer, you're like, ugh. But when you watch the show, you watch it with like the company of like friends and family. You guys are going to be laughing your asses off. And I'm still quoting lines with Emily and my manager to this day from that show. My number one is the Penguin. The
okay.
Penguin was a shocker. I'm like, you're gonna make a spinoff with the Penguin, but you're not gonna make one of like Arkham Asylum, and you watch the Penguin, you're like, holy shit,
Yeah, man.
you could do this. Like it's unheard of taking a minor league villain. Let's face it, Penguin's a minor league villain in the Batman universe. Like people know
Yeah.
of him, but people aren't frightened or interested in him as like Joker or like Harley.
He's not A list, but he's not B list. He's B plus. You know.
He yeah, yeah. But like still, it's like you're not gonna be worried about the Penguin versus the Batman. You'll be worried about the Joker versus Batman. But that show, wow.
Yeah.
Like what hasn't already been said, hopefully it gets awards and nominations.
It's nominated. It's nominated
Then it
for.
needs to win. And I forget the actress's name that played uh the Hangman. Why am I forgetting her name?
You mean
In the
sorry? You're talking about Sophia Gigante, but it's played by Kristen Milioti. Both her and Colin are nominated, by the way.
Okay, she needs to.
She needs to win. Yeah,
All
man.
right, Colin. I hope he wins, but so
Kristen.
Kristen made that show for me. Like Colin was already incredible, but
Yeah.
like you watch the first couple of episodes, you're like, eh, and then you start learning more and more and more about her, and you're conflicted as a viewer of like, I don't know who, like I'm rooting for both.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. She was so good. She's so
This
good.
show is smart. It has no right to be in the Batman universe, but it is. We have no right to ever be given a show like the Penguin, let alone being a part of a Batman universe that
Yeah.
could have come from our wildest dreams.
Yeah. Have you seen Palm Springs, the movie she was in with Andy Samberg on Hulu?
I did.
So
Very
good.
good movie.
So
Very
good.
good movie.
She was also in Fargo for a season. I don't remember what season.
I remember she was also the mother from the last season of How I Met Your Mother, and then they gave her cancer, died,
Well,
and a
spoiler.
couple.
If anyone who's watching the show now,
Don't watch
bummer.
don't watch the last season. It's disrespectful.
Yeah. So sorry. That show started off really good, and then whew.
It's one of the few shows that you can't rewatch. It's just as a hard
That
rewatch.
is true. I will say there are moments you can rewatch, but not the full show. Not
Yeah.
the full show. Like there are very small niche moments, like when Barney's holding his daughter and he gives that very nice, like really touching monologue. Or, I mean, I guess the full episode of when Marshall's dad dies. That was a
Yeah.
great way because when you're watching that, now you're looking for the secret numbers for the countdown.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a really good detail. Say what you want about the show. They had some really cool camera work, but yeah. So we were on the right track for a little bit. You'll see what I'm saying. So I haven't seen a lot of TV shows, and if I have, I don't remember all the ones I did see. But I gotta be honest, I did see a lot, but they're like very superhero or comedy based. So I am starting Arcane, loving that. I would 100% put that on my list for top three shows of 2024, but I haven't finished it. So I kind of want to put stuff I actually like have completed. But Arcane would be on there, and I'm starting slow horses. But kind of want to go over the other shows real quick before I get to my top three because I think we missed a lot just because we had to narrow down to three. I'm just gonna list them. Here we go. Ready?
Mhm.
Abbott Elementary, such a great season, so funny, hilarious television.
I've seen
Cannot
clips.
cannot wait for the Sunny in Philadelphia crossover. Batman Caped Crusader on Prime Video. Whew. Two great Batman shows in the same year.
Yeah.
Very different, but so good. Agatha All Along blew my expectations out of the wire, and it was a very, very good show. If you haven't seen it, Colin, go start now. It's really good. My Adventures of Superman Season 2. Such a fun show. I think it brings back the heart of Superman that I think James Gunn's Superman Legacy will bring. Such a good start. I didn't see Superman and Lois, but I'm sure you did. Superman and Lois Season 4. I saw the ending with him and Crypto. Made me cry. So good. We also had Season 1 of Ted on Peacock come out this year.
I forgot.
It's such a funny show.
It came out so early in the year.
I know it came out like in January.
Not this year.
Yeah, it came out January, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, January 11th. That's when it came out, dude. Crazy. So good. Then we had The Bear Season 4. Super good. Not as good as, Season 3. Bear Season 3. That was really, really good. Vox Machina Season 3. Loved it. So good. It's one of my favorite shows. It's so fun. Invincible Season 2. That came out this year. And Shrinking Season 2. Just wrapped that up last night. So good. So good. Apple TV. Another guy from How I Met Your Mother. Jason Segel. So good. It was great in that. All right. Now, my top three. Number 3 is X-Men 97. Such a good show. Can't say much about it that we haven't said enough on the show. I know it's a continuation of the 96 series, but I thought it was really great and it put Marvel back where it needed to be. Number 2 was Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Super original. Maya, Donald, everybody was on their A game for this show. And it like Cameron said, it made me go back and rewatch a lot of Maya's work. So I rewatched Pen 15, that TV show on Hulu. So funny. I rewatched Plus One with her and Jack Quaid. Very cute movie. Go see it. All the love to that show. I'm sad they're not going to make a return for season 2. We're probably going to get a different Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but I love the show no matter what. It's great. And number 1, Penguin. Unreal. Can't say enough that you guys already haven't said. Just, I did like the little memes that came from it. It was like, I watch your note. You did my back.
Oh yeah, I was gonna send you that one of like when your friend bails on you playing. So like, well, you don't want to be my friend.
You don't want to be my friend. Come on. Dude, the way they also like we were totally wrong about that kid being around for the rest of the DC universe. I'm crying during that moment, and I'm just like, we were so wrong, man.
Yeah, even though like that went against our expectations and hopes, it still exceeded our expectation. It's like that's still what Oz would do.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much everything. I mean, did you also write down your top artist? Because I know we kind of, this is a TV movie entertainment needs. I want to see what your top artist was.
Okay. My top artist is Marco Cicchetto, the artist of the Jonathan Hickman Ultimate Spider-Man series. He has been killing it.
How?
You said artist. I assume.
You know what? I did. I was blindsided. I was like, is it like an audio book for this or something? But you know what? Oh. I will take that answer. That's a great answer, Colin.
Yeah, he's been killing it, and I love seeing Spider Dad with his wife and kids.
That's a good one, dude. That's a good one. Cameron's number 1 artist was Mick Gee. It's pronounced Mick Gee, but it's spelled MK
Jagger.
So it's spelled MK.GE, pronounced Mick Gee, a guitarist vocalist. Michael Gordon has made one of my favorite albums in a long time with 2 Star and the Dream Police. Sorry. I'm not as good at describing music as I am at movies, but this feels like a truly unique sound that mixes both incredible guitar playing and incredible vocals. An enchanting, haunting album that has been in my soundtrack of 2024. I'll probably give that a listen to. My number one artist was an artist I played for you in the car a few months back, which was JVB, Joey Valentin Bray, the indie hip hop artist that did that Spider Man line or like those like
Yeah.
comic book references in their music. These guys are awesome. They're so much fun. Like I love how their music sounds really, really good, but at the same time are just like having fun with the music, like adding like Scooby Doo sound effects and comic book references and pop culture references in their songs, but it doesn't take you out of the song, and it's so good. But I gotta say though, an honorable mention was Kendrick Lamar's GNX. Woo! That album's so good, so good. And Colin, to wrap up, because I don't think I texted this question to Cameron because he didn't answer it. But what's your favorite episode this season, Colin?
It's a two-parter.
Hmm.
Episode 2 of Creature Commandos, which delve into the backstory of the bride.
Okay.
It came out so recently, but it's been on my mind, and I've been rewatching that episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so perfect.
That's good. Yeah.
And the Arkham Asylum episode of The Penguin, where we dive into a little deeper of Sophia's backstory, and you also get a glimpse of what a live action Arkham Asylum would be and should be in like live action film. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And it truly captures as well the insanity of being in the asylum, like a lot of other comics. A notable mention is Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum, of how maddening it could be just being there, and it can truly drive you insane.
Yeah, man.
You understand a hospital like that, how it can create the rogues gallery that Batman has to fight.
Yeah. As much as that is a very true answer, I gotta blame myself for this one. I was meaning podcast episode that we've done, because we've done 40 of them.
Dude, you gotta be.
That's on me. That is 100% on me.
The Jeopardy episode.
The Tu-Vie trivia night.
Yeah,
because that's because I'm stuck between two. It was either the Buzz to Lightyear episode where I got to interview Angus MacLean. I know I'm being biased on that one. That was genuinely a dream come true. But Tu-Vie trivia night, I think, was the hardest I have laughed on this show for Cameron's rant.
I was wondering. I was like, you don't like Creature Commandos? Episode 2 was the best one.
No. By far the best episode. But I was like, when you started talking, I was like, oh, maybe he's going to be funny and say Creature Commandos and then end it with because I thought I wrote podcast episode like in parentheses or something. So you go to the Arkham Asylum. I'm like, you know what? That's on me. He's absolutely correct. But it's my fault. So shit, dude. No. Tu-Vie trivia. And also the Disney Infinity episode. That was a really fun one. That was
a good one.
That was a really good one. And I'm so excited for season 4. But Tu-Vie trivia night. It's so funny. There's 7 of them. If there were 5, I can only get 2 wrong.
That's 3, but I don't care.
Oh my God. Oh man. I got to be more clear when I send these questions over. That is 100% on me. Colin, it's been one hell of a year. I can't thank you enough for being here when you could. I know you were seriously busy, but you still made time. And I'm really glad we get to do the show together. And I know that our recap video is coming out soon. That's going to be very inspired by something that we saw, and you had a great idea for it. So I'm really glad we got to do this, and it's been a great season. Can't wait for season 4, January 15th.
Can't wait.
Woo! We're going to be on our holiday break for a little bit. We'll also be posting on TikTok, Letterboxd, and Instagram if you guys want to go check us out there. If you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, be sure you're following there and leave us a star review between 1 and 5. We're going to pick 5 because we work for it. Check us out on Instagram mainly because TikTok has I think 2 weeks left from when this is being recorded. There's not a lot of time and it's looking very uncertain. So we're going to try to be posting a lot more on TikTok. No, less on TikTok and more on Instagram. Check us out there. Letterboxd as well. Post a lot of fun stuff. Colin, thank you again.
Thank you.
I was supposed to drop this off for you this week, and I never made time because I was busy for a final. But uh, yeah, we'll get together soon. We'll prep for season 4, and we're gonna have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time.